kept within range until Ben Healy said, "See ya." Julien Alaphilippe dropped back and looked at Alex Baudin, Healy's teammate, as if to say, "What on earth's going on?" What was going on and on and on was Ben Healy. Well, when he gets the bit between his teeth, he knows how to ride, and the terrain, would it favour him?
Additional weights, I don't care. Like, it's winter riding, it's cold anyway. I'm not going full gas. So safety here for riding was the main characteristic that I looked for. This would not be a tire that I would be riding here now.
Okay, I'm ready. Yo. Oh, what's up, man? Long time. Congrats, by the way. Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
What's that mix, Kat?
It's tang and sugar.
So, ilang grams? Tang with more sugar?
Huh?
So, tang. Okay.
Yeah.
Ilang grams?
All right, test 1, 2. Let's get into this race. I mean, ride. All right, so we're starting out here. We're in Daang Reina. And initially, the pace was pretty okay. It was a social ride pace until we got to this point, and everyone knows this road, or everyone's kind of familiar with it. So we started smashing it. And you can see there's already a gap. Right in front of me is Charles there in the black jersey. In front of him is Jeg. And the guy who just signaled for the rumble strips, that is someone we have not ridden with. He was in a Vittoria jersey. Over here is Alonso attacking, and I don't know if anyone's going to follow him. Over here to my right is Boggs. And yeah, Jeg goes for it. And right here, just passing on the left, is Charles, but for the sake of not confusing everyone, he's Chowie. So yeah, this is Daang Reina. Pretty fast, but everyone knows at the end that there's going to be a roundabout where it's going to slow down, so I think that's why everyone's kind of just giving it the beans right now. And yeah, I'm just having a little fun. This is a social ride, but you know, with the UCI Conyos, social rides are usually social races. But what I love about riding with the community is like we just get to ride with everyone, and there's a pace for everyone. So we're here at the roundabout, and this is usually where people turn, but we're gonna turn over out to the right, and then we're gonna head on to the rest of the route. So you can see the truck stopped for us. Thank you, Mr. Truck. And here's a descent, so we're slowing down and we're gonna take it easy. This guy in the Vittoria jersey, he's gonna be a character later on in the ride. So yeah, this is the descent I was talking about. So it's pretty fast, and so everyone's getting tucked in. The start of this ride was absolutely super fun. So basically, at the front was me, Charles, Chowie, and the guy in the Vittoria jersey. I think his name is JP, or JB. Sorry, bro, I forget. I'm not good with the names. But yeah, we were absolutely sending it, like just going around these tricycles. Not the safest thing. And yeah, there, bunny hop, just for fun. Yeah, just keeping speed. And yeah, there's humps. And then out of the humps, you do like 700 watts just to get back. So this guy, he is really good at crits. This guy in the Vittoria, he's not on our team. But yeah, it was fun riding with him. He was like giving us a run for our money. We were 3v1. It kind of reminds me of this year's Dwarsdorf-Vlaanderen. Nelson Paulus versus Jumbo-Visma 3v1. And yeah, he's just like clinging on to anything that he can get a draft off of. Right now, he's behind a pickup truck. And yeah, here I'm trying to close the gap. And Charles is there in front. Humps again. And then another watt bomb just to keep up. So you can see here, he's gonna go behind this motorcycle. And then, yeah, we were going pretty fast. I've never actually passed through here, but the area is nice, but the roads were, I mean, they're fine. So here, getting a draft off the motorcycle, and Charles puts in an attack, and I try to follow, and I think the Vittoria guy is right behind me. So here, getting the draft from Charles, and he's done with his pull. So I'm going to go and take a pull on the front now. And the Vittoria guy goes with Chowie, and Chowie chases. Oh my gosh, yeah, this was really, really fun. Thank God for the bridge and the roads that kind of slow us down. And so here, Chowie, I can call him Charles, but it's kind of confusing. He's saying, go take a pull, take a pull. So yeah, it's time. I'm going to take a pull. And I get into the aero position, adjust the camera. And yeah, I'm here in front. I think I was doing maybe like 300 watts, but thank goodness there is an intersection here. And this is kind of right before the main climb that we're going to go to next. So everything came together here, and yeah, we waited for each other. Onto the climb. Now we're here on the climb. Everyone's together. You can see the group is pretty big. It was a big group ride between Garmin Cycling Club and Specialized Alabang. So a lot of people turned out today. So here we're just doing an easy almost 300 watts up this really, really steep slope. And yeah, this is the start of the climb. And the name of the climb, I think, is Davilan. I've never been here, so I'm taking it easy, but I'm looking at the map. It's always good to have the map there. And yeah, now I go for an attack because I got boxed in, but my other UCI Conyo friends, Boggs is here. They're in front. Charles and Chowie are also in front. I think they're attacking. So here I'm doing like 350, which is well over my threshold. But yeah, I know it's going to be pretty short. The climb is like steep for a bit, and then it kind of levels out. So there, Charles is like, Chowie's like, no, I'm not going to go for it. And there's just one other guy in front. And then I'm just going to chase after this guy. And yeah, just now here's a little bit closer to my threshold. Yeah, so an effort I can maintain. I know for a fact that this is the last steep lump. So I'm about to, get out of the saddle, and yeah, this guy is still beside me. So yeah, I get out of the saddle, And yeah, there's gonna be the last hard effort in my head, at least, of the ride. So yeah, here 600 watts up a almost 20% slope. I don't think it's actually that steep, but I think the metrics are kind of wonky. But here it kind of levels out like 3-4% maybe, and then yeah, just time trial all the way to the end of this segment, where I'll meet everyone. You can see on the left-hand side, there's the map. So basically the steep part was just the start of the segment. And yeah, if I remember correctly, this goes on for about 15-20 minutes. And yeah, I'm just chilling here at this point. Kind of thinking like, you know, trying to embody the inner Tadej Pogacar of just like being out in front and just time trialing my way. Hoping that no one catches me. Yeah, I'm looking back once in a while just to see if anyone like is on my wheel, and at this point I don't think anyone was on my wheel, so that's why I kind of let off the power and kind of get into something a little bit more chill. So here I'm just doing like zone 2, and what's nice about this climb is it's steep at the start, so you can get separation, but the rest of it is quite like chill, so you can go at it at your own pace. And honestly, I mean, you'll see that I'm almost doing like 20 kilometers per hour here on a climb, which is, I guess, not that common, but yeah. So here, just holding between tempo and threshold. But yeah, nothing really notable about this climb, honestly. It's a nice place to train, I think. A good effort here. I guess if you don't mind the steep part at the start, it would be a really steady effort. So it would be nice to do like intervals here. But yeah, I'm just fixing my shoes now and getting ready to settle into this climb. There's actually a person beside me who was also like an athlete. She was like, "You're really like attacking on this climb," and I was like, yeah, just for fun, you know. I've never been here, but I'm just making the most of it. Yeah, she was pretty cool. So yeah, I had someone to talk to throughout the entire climb. I wasn't alone, and she was telling me about all her endurance events and stuff like that. Yeah, it was fun. But she was on a motorcycle and I was on a bike. I thought it would be like a hi hello kind of thing, but we were like chatting the entire climb, so it was nice. I wasn't alone. Yeah, pretty much fun climb. Yeah, here like there are some risers and like it gets a little steep and then it kind of levels off and there's like a slight descent, but it's never like a fast descent, so you're still pedaling throughout. So yeah, I guess nothing really notable about this, but this was like the main climb section of this ride, and it was a lot of fun. So big shout out to Garmin Cycling Club and Specialized Alabang for hosting this ride. Even if I use Wahoo, clearly, as you can see here. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate the invites. And yeah, I think we can cut to the end and tell the story of the post ride, which was, I think, equally as fun as the ride itself.
Yun nga eh. I invited them to today. Bebe tayo. Sabi niyo magkakibiyang siya. Ngayon? Sabi din, nag-ito siya eh. Hello, bro. Alright, kayo Miko. I don't know nga eh. I just followed them.
Why is it videoing?
With a third on a downhill.
I don't even have a crown, man. This is fourth.
I don't have any. This guy.
I gotta KO him somewhere.
Water and coffee na sa next time.
Short mount pancake, steak and eggs.
I thought I'd get like a VO2 FTP update, but
Gagawin ng lubutan. Ha?
what's the limit of your battery and rooms of getting heated up?
I'm pretty sure it's
Doesn't even look like he's doing an effort pa whenever he goes pa. Parang bigat lang na sipa niya.
Yeah, dude. It's really well. Lakas niya.
It's not even fast, Peter. Slow. Super slow. Tapos parang hindi pa siya nag-twitch pag
Joining, right?
Not ready to run.
So you can chill here.
Just gonna ikot-ikot lang and then we're
You can chill here lang. Okay.
Oh, inggit me.
second small sorry. Ikot. Sir, tikit. It's 1,000. Wait, what the fuck, yeah. Tinek ko yung GPX, ha? Akala ko Recon lang to, parang... Ito na daya.
Okay, so let's get into this ride. Before I get into the main climb, which was the main thing that we wanted to recon, yeah, I just wanted to put this clip here of just me and the boys having fun sprinting to town signs, or in this case, arcos. And you can see that I think this was the first arco that we saw on this route. So yeah, here Chowi's gonna get on the back of this motorcycle. The road is really smooth here in Tarlac, which makes it really, really nice for these sprints. So here, Chowi is just getting on the back of this tricycle, getting a lead out from it. Yeah, you can see that the watts go down as you're behind the tricycle, and then I go left and he goes right, and now it's an all-out sprint to the line, or rather to the arco, doing like 750 watts, which is not usually like our max sprint, but we're just conserving ourselves. And yeah, here I just get him at the line just for fun, you know. It's a lot of flat on this route, so just to, you know, just for fun, onto the climb. So yeah, now we're here at the base of the climb. I think this is probably going to be the main decisive climb if you can make it to the front of the race for the Clark Gran Fondo, 160 kilometers. This is about like a 10-kilometer climb, and there are like 3 punchy bits. So this is the first punchy bit. You can see that the pace just comes to a halt here basically as we get to the base of this climb. And yeah, basically because I always have the route on my Wahoo, so I'm just like telling them, oh, it's not that long, it's doable. But yeah, you can see here we're absolutely grinding it. It says 18%. It's probably closer to like 14% maybe, but yeah, we're on our last gears and just slowly making our way. This is the first time we've done this, so we're not really sure yet of like how it's gonna be. I hope to be able to do it one more time before the race. And yeah, here Chowi's out of the saddle. We're just, yeah, taking our time. You can see that the slope is like really steep, but we're just doing like 200 watts, so we can really get a feel for the climb. Then maybe the second time we're gonna go try to do an effort. So here, just grinding it out. And yeah, you can see it's really hot by this time. I think it was already around like 10 a.m. and yeah, we were being baked, absolutely baked by the sun. There's barely any tree coverage here, so the highway is all you have. And when the pavement is baked like this, oh my gosh, it is so hot. So yeah, we're still climbing. This bit, how long has it been? It's been like 2 minutes of climbing so far. Keeping the watts low, just manageable, just to get a vibe of this place. And yeah, taking it easy, or as easy as this climb will allow. So I think here it kind of levels out. That was the steep part. So as I said, there's like 3 parts that it's like really steep, and then it kind of levels out to an almost like descent, and then it goes back up to being steep. The crazy part about like this route is that you can basically see where you're going, and you can see how steep it's gonna be. So yeah, it's quite demoralizing. I imagine if you get dropped here and you see everyone just going off in front of you, yeah, that could be tough. So yeah, just mentally preparing myself for like the suffering that will be on this climb. So here it gets steep again. I'm not quite sure if this is part of the first or is there already the second, but it might be the first. So yeah, it just turns here, turns left. Perhaps in the race I could take a better line. So I'm doing like, I'm out of the saddle here and crossing into the other side. What's nice about this place is there's barely any cars, so it's really safe. This actually, on this entire ride, the thing I have to say is that like usually when you ride, there's a lot of traffic and stuff that kind of slows you down, but it also gives you breaks. But here there's like no traffic at all, so you kind of just keep on going, and that can be tiring as well. But I think it's a good simulation for like the race itself, because in the race itself, yes, there might be some traffic, but for the most part, it's going to be a continuous effort if you can do that, which I hope I can. Let's see. But yeah, here I'm just like, I'm dropping it down to like zone 1 now, just like trying to recover from that climb. So yeah, that definitely was the first one. So taking it easy now, trying to get the heart rate back down or as low as I can get it with this heat. So yeah, zone 1. That was the first pinch of this climb. You can see on the map on the left is that the climb is quite long. So yeah, it's around 10k if I remember correctly. And yeah, it's just really hot. One of the other things is that there's absolutely nothing, like no shops, no stores, like all the way. So yeah, this place is kind of barren, but I mean there are a few stores, but not as many as we're used to, like in the east, of course. So here you can see that it's kind of descending now, so this would be a nice time to go into the big ring and or to recover, whichever is your vibe. So here, just freewheeling onto the next climb. Yeah, heart rate is getting back down to normal levels, and then we're gonna run into the next part of the climb. So the thing about this is that it's really steep for like really short, but it's really steep, so it kind of kills the momentum. So you just kind of want to get as much momentum as you can into the climbs. So here it's downhill. At this point I'm like looking back to see if Charles and Chavi are still there, and I think they were like maybe 10 seconds behind. So here's the next part of the climb. You can see that it's absolutely so dry. Like the green is not greening, it's like brown. So here, just doing 300 watts. Yep, the climb is climbing, and you can see that the cadence is maintained, but the watts are kind of going down. I might have been wrong. That might have just been like a little bump. And there, you could see, you kind of think to yourself, oh my goodness, that's what we're gonna climb. So I think that is the second part. And I'm about to run into it. So you can see that it's really steep up there. Yeah, as we turn here, we're gonna see the climb. And I'm just like mentally preparing myself for another one of those. On the upper right hand corner, you can see the climb, and I think it's pretty short, but it's pretty steep. There you go. And now we climb yet again. So here I'm just managing my effort. 166 beats is pretty okay. I mean, it's kinda like up there in tempo for me. Yeah, just maintaining cadence. So here we're just a bit over threshold, just managing it. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this in the actual race. I'm pretty sure this will be pretty decisive of like whatever group you're in, be it the front group, the lead group, or like whatever group, basically. Yeah, I think this is where you'll get separation from everyone. So yeah, I'm not really that used to like these climbs that are kind of on wide roads. The wideness of the road doesn't really do justice to how steep it is, actually. Like I'm used to like kind of switchbacks and like narrow roads. So yeah, this is new to me, and just how dry it is. Here I'm like out of the saddle, standing, and just like I know that at that turn it'll kind of level out, so I'm just kind of eking whatever energy I have. just to get past this quicker. Yeah, so yeah, you can see it's like 20%, which I don't think it's 20%, but it's pretty steep nonetheless. Yeah, 320 watts standing. I know that it'll crest just over there, and basically, yeah, I'm like right in the middle now, which is usually I'm not used to it, because usually there's lots of cars, but here there's like barely any cars. Yeah, we're moving at 9 kilometers per hour, 185 beats, which is like 2 beats away from like exploding. But yeah, finally kind of levels back and crests, so back on the saddle and doing zone 1 numbers. You can see my arms are like absolutely shiny because I am sweating my ass off. It is so hot. It's like I went swimming, not cycling. And yeah, here just trying to recover a bit. And we're about halfway through the climb. That was a weird pass by the car. So here, another gradient goes back up. And yeah, the thing with this climb is that it's kind of like up, down, but when it's up, it's really steep. So I'm still not sure how I want to pace this. Usually like on the climb, on the crests, like I'll take a look back to see if Charles and Chowie are still there, and I think they were still there. Perhaps maybe like 5 seconds back. Here I'm gonna take a drink, which is probably good, into this slight descent. So cadence is up. I'm probably shifting into the big ring to make the most of this, and you can see again where the last pinch of this climb is going to be. So here, just resting into the last bit of the climb. I mean, it's pretty nice out here, in fairness. Like, it's the scenery is so nice, but it's so dry. That's all I have to say. Now here, there's this bridge before that last part, so I'm just gonna make a mental note of that. But yeah, whenever there's a bridge, there's always a downhill and then an uphill. I guess that's how bridges are. Like if you ride in the province, if there's like a really steep downhill and then the bridge, you know there's gonna be a steep uphill as well, because I think these roads go down onto as near as they can to the water, and then there's a bridge, and then it goes back up. So yeah, that's just like province riding. Here I'm just making sure my boas are tight before the last bit of the climb. Just running into it. The thing with these climbs is that the road is so wide, like you don't really get a good run into it. It's just like it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. So here we're just doing tempo, pretty much taking it easy now because we're almost there to the end. So I'm making a mental note that there's like 3 main pinches, so I could more efficiently distribute my effort throughout this climb. And after this climb, there's a really long downhill down Monasterio de Tarlac. I think that's what it's called. I've never been there, but I've seen some videos of it. Oh, and there's another bridge. So yeah, there's a long downhill where I think you can make up time if you're good at going downhill, which Charles and Chowie are. I am not. So here, back on the climb. I forget how long this is gonna be, but yeah, I'm just like giving it the beans now, standing out of the saddle. I'm thinking to myself, like, just this last bit, just gotta make it through. Back on the saddle, just trying to recover. There's one more little bit to this section. Thankfully, the heart rate isn't too crazy yet. 178 is pretty high, but it's something that I can manage. So yeah, we're just like, it's all about managing. This is a really long segment with steep climbs, so yeah, it's all about managing. So here we're just under threshold, and on this climb that should feel easy, but yeah, it's not. It might be because of a plethora of factors, one of which is that we are getting absolutely baked by the sun. Thankfully, we're not descending this road because it's pretty dusty, which could be really sketchy. I think the slope here is fake. I mean, like, what, 34%? That's pretty crazy. I think the data that they give is just kind of weird from Wahoo or Garmin or whoever, especially on these new roads that aren't properly like done yet. I mean, like, I guess the data is just kind of weird. But yeah, here finally out of the saddle, last effort. You can see that even if I'm out of the saddle, I'm just barely touching threshold here. I am properly cooked by the sun and by this climb. And those guys in the truck were kind of like looking at me weird, because why is this guy cycling at 10 a.m., almost 11, out here, just suffering? Well, we do this for fun. So yeah, I think that's about it for this climb. I think I hit lap at some point, or I'm just looking at how far to go. But that would be the last pinch of this climb, and then it's kind of downhill from there. There's like a few rises, but they're not anything notable. I think you can like pedal through them and like use momentum to make it through it. So yeah, those are the 3 pinches on the main climb here. At I guess what is the back of Monasterio de Tarlac for the Clark Gran Fondo 160k. Yeah, and at this point I'm just rolling in, and yeah, you can see it's kind of going down now. Gonna regroup with Charles and Chowie, and then we're gonna take a break to kind of to like just talk about that climb and just how it was and what our strategy will be as a team. Yeah. So yeah, this is the last bit, I guess, for real this time. But yeah, it wasn't that steep anymore. I mean, you get a lot of this, like these down and then up on this segment and on this course actually. So it's pretty much rolling like this. So it would be nice to maintain speed. I'm actually considering running a 52 because there's a lot of downhill sections where I'm spinning out. Like I'm on a 50-34, and yeah, I'm just trying to keep pedaling, but yeah, might be something to consider. But yeah, that was this climb. We're gonna be reconning it again. If you guys are interested, just hit us up. We're gonna go do it May 11th, a little closer to the event itself. So yeah, last bit here, and then we turn and we see my friends. And as we're cresting this climb, I'm getting out of the saddle here just to get everything out because it's almost done. Well, actually, the route itself is pretty long for the race. So yeah, this is actually the start of the race. So yeah, still a long way to go actually. Oh, and another thing to note about this course is that instead of going straight from here, you can see that the road goes straight. Yeah, you take a right and it goes to Monasterio de Tarlac. And yeah, some people might get lost, but I think there should be a marshal here, or you guys should just, you know, put the route on your Wahoo or Garmin so you don't get lost. Because I would not want to climb anymore and then find out that it's not part of the course.
It's supposed to be a freaking recon ride, man.
It's the heat.
It's crazy. Did you say aside? Just thinking twice na if sasali siya doon.
Saan po yung shower? Sige.
So stay here. So let's do this in Taiwan, diba? Gala.
Fun.
Let's go, Taiwan kayo.
Sana hindi na umulan.
Yun nga, nag-iaya si ame ko eh.
Taiwan.
October.
Yung ito po?
It's ham and cheese. Winter.
For takeout. Is it seen?
I like to
Yeah, it's seen.
Shot.